Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Michelle Ricardo, for those of you I haven't had an opportunity to meet yet. And as Yannick said, we're going to talk a little bit about services. You guys have heard quite a bit about tools and support, and so now we'll kind of take a little adventure into the other side of what we offer, which is our services. So that's me, Michelle Ricardo. Okay, well, how many of you think, based on everything that you've heard from Yannick about Spark and the value of Spark, that you could complete successfully a feasibility study in Spark with your current teams? Besides Rob and Yannick. It can be a little bit of a daunting idea, a change in mindset. So we actually recently had a couple of inquiries, very, very similar, where there were teams that actually had very little even experience with Ada, who were looking to complete feasibility studies on Spark and Ada for existing C applications. And they came to us and said, hey, this is something we want to do. We haven't decided on a platform yet. We don't know much about Ada, but we think this is the way we want to go. Is this something you could help us do? And we were a little daunted by it too, and we thought, wow, okay, we think it's a great idea, but how to get them there to a successful feasibility study outcome. So we asked ourselves, what can we do to help? How can we at AdaCore help these future customers get on board with Spark and see the value that Yannick just talked about with you guys in a way that could kind of get them over the threshold with all of the learning and decisions that would have to go into the process. So a new service was born, right? Our technology adoption service, which we're calling AdaCore Mentorship. So what is a mentorship? It's basically a bundle of different services. And the first one, as implied in the name mentorship, is a dedicated AdaCore expert that will really be your liaison that connects you and your team with that really ambitious technology goal, together with what are the right tools. The mentor will help identify the tools and the relevant experts here at AdaCore that can help you in sort of analyzing all of the challenges that you'll go through to get to whatever your outcome is. The mentor also will coordinate some on-site visits and who is the right experts from AdaCore to actually work with your team shoulder to shoulder, really focusing in and that dedicated one-on-one on-site time. We also have dedicated technical calls where we like to have sort of a schedule, maybe every other week or every week, depending on how complex the goal is, where the mentor is focused in with the team and just kind of dealing with sort of their progress from week to week in this case, a feasibility study goal. And we did actual coding assistance. So this is something that's a little unique. We had the opportunity to work with the actual code, do some translation from C into Spark, and show those proofs back to the teams and see, how we did it, how we were able to accomplish it, and then kind of educate them on the process and work with them on the code. I should mention, because occasionally people ask me, we don't have anyone with security clearances available. So this would have to be some representative code or some unclassified code for something like this. And then also the mentor tracks the tickets. So we talked a lot about technical tickets. The mentor says, hey, I know the goal in mind, in this particular case, what the team is trying to accomplish, and we'll check in on the technical tickets with the outcome in mind that the team is looking forward to. So it is kind of a higher level, more focused in type of support over a specific period of time with a defined outcome. So the consulting, I mentioned a little bit about sort of the mentor coordinating it, but basically it's on-site visits, the technical calls, and again, that actual assistance with the coding itself. Okay? And there's a certain amount of learning that needs to go into it very often, where teams need to either learn language, whether it's Spark or Ada or both, and then perhaps also get oriented to the AdaCore tools themselves. So we offer on-site training for both the language and for tools. And then there are the tools. So I mentioned in these cases, we're working with folks who had not decided on the platforms yet, and they had a lot of kind of open questions. So as a part of mentorship, you can have access to any relevant tools that you think are needed to accomplish the goal for that period of time. So if you want to experiment with, Ada, C, even C++, Spark, coverage, CodePeer, native platforms, cross-platforms, whatever it is that you think that you need to test out and evaluate during that period to then ultimately make a decision of what tools are the right ones for your specific project. So whatever you think you might want to try would be available during that time. And so that's basically it. It is AdaCore mentorship. It's a bundle, really, that we put together. It's customized for a specific period of time. It could be 3 months, 6 months. It could be a year, depending on how complex the goal really is. Just want to show you for these two cases, sort of initial results. They were both able to complete successfully their feasibility studies in Spark Ada, which was great. Some of them had very ambitious timelines, which I don't know if you've ever tried to do something like this in 4 months, but it took you 6 months. Maybe it took a couple of months longer for some of them, but they were successfully able to complete the studies. The tools did identify, with the help of their mentors, the relevant tools in these cases. And because training was a part of it, they were able to have already training in place for the initial team members. So this is kind of how it was born. So I don't know if any of you are wondering, why do we do this services? We offer tools, we offer support. Why invest all of these man hours? Why do add services into the mix? Does anybody wonder why we do it? Any guesses?
Because it's hard.
Because it's hard. Really, honestly, it's really core to our mission. It is hard, right? Building sort of safe and secure software is hard. These are really complex, ambitious goals that people have, and our mission is really to help developers build software that matters. We really want to help you guys reach your goal. And it's really just core to the mission of the business. And the second reason is because people kept asking for it. I mean, those were just a couple of examples of people coming to us and saying, can you help us? We get these kind of requests all the time where people say, we want to do this, but it's a very ambitious goal, and we don't have in-house all of the resources and experts to get us across the finish line. And we've had inquiries come to us from military, non-military teams, people that are familiar with the language, people that are not, as well as people that have used maybe some tools, but maybe not other tools. So it really kind of runs the gamut of the people that have come to us. And here are some potential adoption types of goals that you may consider, or that people are considering applying the AdaCore mentorship model to. Whether they're migrating from different languages, like I mentioned, C to Spark or Ada, building prototype applications, also migrating from different compilers to Can Pro. So I know there are a couple of people here that have done it successfully on their own with traditional support, and we're able to get there. But we have other folks I know here that are contemplating migrating from another compiler, another Ada compiler to Can Pro, and are feeling perhaps a little daunted by the prospect of that. So if you need some additional support in that area. And then, to Tuck's point, any AdaCore tool that you're trying to incorporate into your engineering process, no matter what the tool is, if it's QGen or perhaps some other tool, we can definitely support you in that process with this model. And one of the examples that's come up quite a bit is CodePeer. And I know a couple of people have mentioned that already today, is the idea of saying hey, CodePeer, there's a lot of warnings, there are different levels. How can we set this up to get the types of answers that are going to be beneficial to our team and perhaps not get a bunch of noise? So if you're interested in just the relevant bugs, the bugs that are perhaps the biggest risk or vulnerabilities to your team, you may need some help adjusting CodePeer to get the right results. Does that make sense? Some examples. There may be others. These are so far the types of conversations that folks have come to us regarding really kind of seeking out some additional support. And then sort of who has been coming to us, just to give you a little bit of an example of the different industries. You can see the variety of different industries that folks have come to us asking for additional support. It really does kind of run the gamut. So it just to drive it home, the idea of, commercial or military, it could be people that have worked with us or people that really haven't. And okay, so my next kind of question for you guys is, were you all aware that we do offer services? So mentorship is new, that kind of bundle idea of bringing all of these resources together for a specific period of time with a goal. But we have offered traditionally services for quite a while. So just to give you just a quick reminder of them, consulting, traditional consulting, if you have a high priority project or you need very specialized expertise, we could do a la carte kind of consulting engagements with various teams. Training, we offer, in addition to on-site dedicated training, we do offer public training, primarily in Europe. I know that's a drag to have to go all the way to Paris or England for a training, but primarily we have done our public training in Europe this far. And we have training for both languages as well as AdaCore tools. But if you'd like customized, sort of on-site training, we'll deploy a trainer, maybe even someone that's here in the room like Ben or Albert, who have done a lot of on-site training over the years. And Pat Rogers. And then finally is custom development. I'm not sure, there's probably people here in the room that we've built custom ports for where they want a specific port and we don't have it available as of yet. Or if you're looking for an adaptation to an existing product and want us to take it in a new direction, something that you need. These are, again, customizable, whether it's something maybe that we're developing, but you want us to accelerate the process because you have a specific date timeline that you're working with. This is something that, we could always discuss. And, JD, because I know you'll ask me, how much does that cost? It really depends on what it is and, the man hours, but also where it is in our roadmap. If it's something that we're currently working on and you just want us to bump up the date, will vary versus something that's a brand new development idea. Okay, so if you're looking on our website or you're thinking about the platforms that you saw earlier, some of the roadmaps, perhaps for C++, if there's something that you need, don't hesitate, come and talk to us and we'll try to, put a ROM together and give you a sense of what that could look like. And so that is basically sort of all of the services that we offer at AdaCore. I ran through them kind of quickly, but the key takeaway is, in addition to the tools that we offer and the support that comes to all of our customers through Gannat Tracker, chatting with our experts, we are available to have a little more customized type of engagement with you, whether it's training, consulting, or a bundled approach like the mentorship.